Thinking about moving to Denver, Colorado and wonder what you don't know? Today, we're going to talk about 7 things you should know prior to moving here to Denver. I'm Kathy Hansen, a local area realtor, and I'm also a suburban mom. So let's get right into it. We're going to talk about 7 things you should know prior to moving to Denver. And these are things you would figure out once you got here anyway, but it's just good to know prior to getting here. The first one is chapstick. Chapstick is going to be your new best friend. You know, Denver is known for its dry climate. So your lips, your elbows, your toes, your knees, everything gets dry here. So you are going to be using chapstick all the time. You're going to have a tube in your car. You're going to have one in your purse or your backpack. You'll have one in your gym bag. You'll have 1 or 2 in your pockets. So make sure you check the pockets before you put anything in the laundry because there's always going to be chapstick in there, I'm sure. And the next thing is water. Well, you know, Denver sits at 5,280 feet. 5,280 feet, that's a mile long, which is why we're known as the Mile High City. So because we are so high in altitude, dehydration, it's a real thing. So you're gonna want to drink lots and lots of water. Now it's a regular thing for people around here to carry their water bottles with them everywhere. And then if you're not used to the altitude, well, altitude sickness is also a very real thing. And water helps prevent that. So you're gonna wanna drink water and lots of it. And the good news here is our water is good. It comes straight off the mountain. So you don't necessarily even need to filter it. So water will become your second best friend. The third thing is sunscreen. Again, your third best friend. Colorado sits a mile high. We are closer to the sun, a mile closer to the sun. So therefore, you're going to use, or you're going to want to use sunscreen year round. You're going to have a bottle in your car. You're going to have a bottle, probably some in your purse or some in your gym bag or some in your outdoor sports bag. You're going to have sunscreen everywhere you go, and you're going to want to make sure you use it. Now that about covers it for your body, but there are some other things you should know about living here in the Denver metro area. And the next thing is hail. Well, we get hailstorms, and hailstorms, they can damage your car. So you're going to want to make sure you have comprehensive insurance coverage. So if your car does get damaged by hail, you'll be covered. And Colorado is the 4th highest in insurance costs. And I did a video about the cost of living here in the Denver metro area, and I'm gonna link that above. So you'll be able to see what it really costs to live here in the Denver area. And insurance is one of those costs you need to keep in mind because of hail. So not only are you gonna wanna make sure your car is covered, you've got to get used to basically replacing your roofs. So roofs typically last 20 to 30 years. Well, here in Colorado, they don't. It's just kind of a fact of life. And so roofs in Colorado, they just get replaced a lot more often than they do in other states. And because of the unpredictable weather here in Colorado, you are going to want to dress in layers. And so you can be out and about in shorts and flip-flops at one point of the day. And later on in the afternoon, you're going to need a sweatshirt, a jacket, hat, and gloves. It's just the way Colorado weather works. And if you're planning to go up to the mountains, you definitely want to make sure that you have layers with you because obviously the higher up you go, the colder it gets. So if you have a big family or lots of kids, spouse, that kind of thing, just remember with the layers come lots of laundry. The next thing that people want to know about is marijuana. Yes, we have recreational marijuana here in Colorado. We legalized it in 2013, was one of the first states that did. And so it is not as intrusive as what most people from out of state feel or believe it is here. No, we don't have a bunch of stoned people walking around. That's just not the way it is. Will you get an occasional whiff of it out places in public? Yes, you will. And the other thing to keep in mind is dispensaries. Now, some cities and municipalities, they have rules and laws and regulations about how many dispensaries can be in the city or where they can be located, or even if they allow them at all. So if that's not your thing, you just need to be aware of it. That's all. And while we're talking marijuana, well, let's chat food. So if you get the midnight munchies, not because of marijuana, but simply the midnight munchies or you're a late night eater, well, you're kind of out of luck, especially in the suburbs. So it's one thing that makes this area kind of have a small town feel because typically at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, the streets roll up and it is nice and quiet around town. A lot of fast food restaurants close. Most restaurants are closed at that time. So that is one good thing, because you do kind of get that small town feel, even though Denver Metro is not small town at all. And fun fact, so Rocky Mountain oysters, you're gonna see that on lots of menus around town. Well, these oysters, they don't come from the sea. These Rocky Mountain oysters, if you didn't know, they're actually bull testicles. Yes, I said bull testicles. So it is something to try. Everybody, I feel, should try them at one point in their life. I've tried them. They're not necessarily for me, but there's lots of people who do love them. So with all of that, thanks so much for watching. I hope you found some helpful information here. And if you did, hit that like button, leave me a comment below. And if you want to see more of my content, we'll hit that subscribe button. I post a video every Tuesday, and every other Friday, I do a home tour. Now today, I am standing in a model home, and I'm also going to film this model home and put it up on my channel as well. So once again, I'm Kathy Hansen, a local area realtor, and I would love to help you with your real estate needs. That's it for now. I'll see you on the next video.